Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another YouTube video. Allincrypto here, and today, as it's been a little while, we are going to be talking about Quant Network and the QNT token. Now, you guys that follow me regularly will know we are a massive fan of Quant Network because we think it has real-world application and ultimately is doing something very useful, and that is bridging the gap and enabling small to medium enterprises all the way up to large institutions such as central banks to utilize the distributed ledger technology space. And today we have an announcement from the Quant Network officially, and we're going to be looking at this in Gilbert's comments, that Quant launches a central bank grade key management solution for blockchain transactions. Now, we are going to couple this announcement up. We're going to look into it. We're going to hear from Gilbert with a clip that came out today from Citibank, actually talking about the tokenization of everything and how everything is going to move onto the blockchain. The reason we like Quant so much, Quant Network, is because even though it's not a blockchain or a distributed ledger technology itself, it's essentially an API and OverLedger system that sits on, you've got the crypto space here, it sits on top of it and acts as a bridge for the traditional financial world to actually gain access through a very simple UI, API to the entire crypto space and facilitate things like MApps and all these other weird, wonderful, and interesting things. So I think Quant is going to play a massive role in the kind of digitalization of everything. That's my bet anyway. I think it's very well positioned to do so. You know, it's already partnered with the likes of the Bank of England, MasterCard, Amazon, Barclays, Bank of Canada, and many others. But we're going to be diving down that rabbit hole a little bit deeper. And then we've got a number of other things. You know, this is very recent. This is Danny Russell, who is now essentially become the head of the digital currency technology. We know he has a very close relationship with Gilbert and, of course, Quant Network. And then we'll look at the fact that Quant Network is in the running for a FinTech Futures Banking Award. And then we're going to talk about Quant Token because we were tracking this kind of a falling wedge. Still think it's going to come to fruition. We just think it's going to take a little bit more time. The cheaper Quant gets, actually, for somebody like myself, the better. And I think that's quite a good place to be at. So we've got a lot to get into, guys. Let's start things off with today's announcement. Banks and financial institutions have been relying on secure key management systems for years to safeguard their data and transactions. However, with the emerging of digital assets and blockchains, these traditional systems are no longer compatible or are adequate in ensuring the security of blockchain keys and digital asset custody. We've changed this with Authorize. Our technology empowers banks and institutions to enhance the capabilities of their existing key management systems to integrate and include digital assets and blockchains. This provides central bank grade key management and enterprise transaction signing capabilities to the blockchain ecosystem. We are empowering institutional adoption of blockchain and leading the way in the executing of your digital asset strategy transformation. And this, of course, is the write-up that we're going to jump over to. Again, you see why we like Quant so much, because it ultimately is bridging a gap, and a gap that we know is going to be filled by someone. And why not Quant Network? They're certainly, I would say, the leaders, one of the leaders in the space, you know, very high up on that kind of agenda. So Quant launches a central bank key management system. We launch a groundbreaking solution today that makes blockchain-based transactions more secure for banks and other institutions. Financial institutions have implemented mature key management solutions to secure data, business applications, and transactions. With the introduction of blockchain and digital assets, existing key management technology, it can't be used to provide the same level of protection and compliance mandated by regulations and security. To work around these limitations, enterprises have bypassed robust security processes and put themselves at risk by storing blockchain keys on employee laptops to sign digital asset transactions. This is Quant Authorize. Quant Authorize solves the problem on how banks and institutions can manage and integrate digital assets and blockchain private keys with their existing enterprise key management systems, enabling end-to-end authorization of transactions seamlessly across existing systems and blockchains. Authorize has recently been stress tested and proven to work in Project Rosalind, which of course is Quant's project that they undertook with the Bank of England and many other big institutional hitters. A flagship central bank digital currency experiment led by the Bank of England and the Bank of International Settlements. With banks, institutions, and industry participants, we're now making the technology more available. Let's go down to Gilbert's comments. Our CEO and founder, Gilbert Verdrian, commented, blockchain technology has potential to revolutionize banking, but we cannot unlock its true potential without robust and future-proof solutions for cybergraphic key management and transaction authorization. This is where OverLedger's authorizer comes in. It brings central bank grade key management, so on and so forth. So this is a huge deal. Actually, before we dive into the clip of Citi, Quant Network is a finalist in the FinTech Awards for Banking Tech Awards. Obviously, again, with the Project Rosalind, they were also very high up on the Bank of International Settlements Innovation pilot. And of course, actually, just recently, Danny Russell, I'm delighted to share that I have been promoted to the head of the Bank of England technology at the Bank of England. I'm grateful for the trust placed in me by the bank and looking forward to driving forward the design phase for the digital pound, so on and so forth. And you can see, of course, very familiar with Gilbert. Gilbert is probably one of the best positioned individuals for actually driving adoption of the blockchain space. You know, he really is at the forefront of things. We will now dive into a little bit of price analysis where we sort of left off. You know, this is a kind of three-wave impulsive wedge that we are tracking that we do think is likely going to resolve to the upside eventually. But when that's going to occur, it's of course going to be up to the markets. What I want to do before we dive into that is actually go ahead and play a clip from Citibank talking about their recent moves to tokenize things and how everything's kind of coming together. It's becoming more and more of a reality, and we've been laughed at for years for saying this, that everything is going to be digitalized and run on distributed ledger. Not because it's a gimmick, not because it's a buzzword, not because it's popular, because it ultimately makes the system more efficient and more accountable. And actually, my own personal beliefs away from this is always that we are going to end up in a one world digital system. I'm not going to share where I get those beliefs from. And actually, I think blockchain is going to play a big role in that. So let's get into this clip, and then we'll finish things up with a little bit of price analysis.
That is tokenized deposits on either that front or the smart contracts front. Can you say, are there clients that you are able to share with us just to give us a little example of how this is being implemented in the real world?
Yeah, absolutely. So Maersk is one of our large pilot clients that we did. And as Maersk passed through a canal, they automatically pre-funded a smart contract with tokens. And then once they received the services, the token was automatically paid out. So as you can imagine, trade is a very paper-ridden, not digital first kind of business that we're looking to digitize and add those efficiencies for our clients.
How do you see Citi expanding on these capabilities down the road?
Yeah, so we've built this platform on a ERC20 EVM compatible protocol, which is really important. There's a lot of legislation out there in the marketplace right now in regards to stablecoins and crypto. And if any of these bills pass and our clients want to start using these, we'll have an enabled platform. So having this ERC20 token, which will be fungible, today, day one, we're doing it for tokenized deposits, cash management, efficiencies in trade, but really future-proofing and working with clients to build this out. So, we mentioned Maersk, which is one of our pilot clients, and really helping to build out the functionality in our roadmap, which includes not just a Citi token. We want to work with other banks, like we've done on the regulated liability network with the Fed and other banks. Like, clients don't want, individual bank tokens. They want multi-token, multi-border liquidity for added efficiencies.
We have it, guys. That is from Citibank. That was recently, I think CNBC Crypto actually just recently covered that. This is the way the world's moving, ladies and gentlemen, and ultimately everyone's going to have to get on board that train. And I think Quant Network is making that transition for certainly small to medium enterprises and institutions a lot easier. That's what it's designed to do. And actually, I can see the real value in that. Last thing I really want to sort of finish on is, of course, our price analysis. Now, you guys know that we have essentially identified what we believe is the possibility of a falling wedge that has completed 3 impulses and that is looking to turn. So we ultimately think that this is going to turn at some point. When exactly, we're not sure. We did say it was going to fall from the 100 level when you were kind of consolidating around there. We'll see where Quant Network actually ends up and whether we have to kind of extend this a little bit. But we have identified essentially a 1, 2, 3 impulsive sort of move. We did actually look at Cardano and compare the sort of move that we saw on the run up to the Alonso hard fork with kind of what Quant's going through at the moment. So this is, and we were one of the only people to essentially trade this, the sort of move that we're seeing for Quant right now. Okay, essentially you've got, let's get rid of all this. 1, 2, 3 impulses. You're making that marginally lower low, ultimately setting you up for upside. This is exactly how we think Quant is going to play out. This is not a call to rush in and trade it with leverage, but ultimately we do see evidence so far that actually Quant may be looking for a pretty explosive breakout. When is that confirmed? Well, of course, on point of break of the resistance line. And this ultimately could lead you to further upside. So this is something we're watching. Ultimately, for me, Quant is a mid to longer term investment. And the cheaper it goes, the better. You know, we really do see the value in Quant, the Quant token, which is needed to actually access and use the, or to pay for the Quant network and the OverLedger system. And ultimately, we think Quant network is doing it's filling a real gap that needs to be filled, and there's going to be value that comes as a result of that. That's all we've got for you guys. On that note, I'm going to love and leave you. If you've enjoyed this content, as always, a like and a comment is appreciated. Please subscribe to the channel if you're not already and you want to stay updated with these sort of things. Go and check out our website, allincrypto.com, and of course, come and follow me at Twitter at realallincrypto.com. All I've got for you guys, have a fantastic Tuesday, and I'll catch you all in the next one.